You don't hate rules. You don't hate advice. And you probably don't hate people either. But the moment someone tries to control you, something inside you changes. Your mood shifts instantly. You become distant, quiet, irritated. Even small things start feeling strangely personal. Someone tells you what to do. Someone questions your decision. Someone pressures you too much. And suddenly, it feels less like conversation and more like someone is trying to take something away from you. Most people think this reaction means you're stubborn, but psychology sees something deeper. Because people who hate being controlled usually share a hidden psychological pattern. Their nervous system connects control with emotional danger. And most of the time, that connection was learned early. Maybe you grew up constantly criticized. Maybe your emotions were dismissed. Maybe you were controlled too much. Or maybe love only felt safe when you behaved correctly. Over time, the brain starts adapting. It quietly learns, if other people control my choices, I lose safety. And once the brain learns something emotionally important, it keeps repeating that protection pattern automatically, even years later. This is why some people react very strongly to pressure. Not because they are dramatic, because their nervous system is protecting autonomy like survival. Psychologists call this psychological reactance. It's a defense mechanism where the brain pushes back the moment freedom feels threatened. Even small restrictions can trigger it. A suggestion can feel controlling. Advice can feel insulting. Expectations can feel emotionally heavy. And the strange part is, sometimes the person knows they're overreacting, but still feels unable to stop. Because emotional reactions happen faster than logical thinking. The nervous system reacts first. Logic arrives later. Think about it like an emotional smoke alarm. A healthy smoke alarm reacts to real danger, but an oversensitive one reacts to harmless things too. Steam, small heat, burnt toast. The brain works the same way. Past emotional experiences can make the nervous system overly sensitive to control. So now, normal situations control defensive reactions automatically. And over time, this creates hyper-independence. The person starts relying only on themselves. They struggle asking for help. They avoid depending on people emotionally. They keep distance, even in close relationships, because somewhere deep down, dependence feels unsafe. And usually, there's one hidden fear underneath all of it. What if someone controls me again? That fear changes relationships quietly. The person may pull away when someone gets too close. They may become defensive during harmless conversations. They may hate authority, even when the authority is reasonable, not because they enjoy conflict, but because losing control feels emotionally connected to losing themselves. And eventually, they stop protecting freedom in healthy ways and start protecting themselves from everyone. That's when independence slowly turns into emotional isolation. And isolation feels safe at first, but over time, it becomes exhausting. Because humans still need connection. Even the people who fear vulnerability the most. But here's the important part. This behavior does not mean you're broken. It usually means your brain adapted to emotional experiences that once made you feel powerless. That adaptation helped you survive emotionally. But survival patterns can continue long after the danger disappears. And the brain does not automatically update itself. It repeats what once felt safe, even when it no longer helps. So what actually helps? First, start noticing the difference between control and guidance. Not every disagreement is domination. Not every opinion is an attack. Sometimes people are simply trying to help, but the nervous system interprets pressure before logic has time to think clearly. That awareness alone changes a lot. Second, pay attention to moments where your reaction feels bigger than the situation. Because intense emotional reactions often point toward old emotional memories. The brain reacts to patterns, not just present moments. Sometimes your nervous system is responding to yesterday's pain through today's conversation. And finally, learn to stay emotionally present without immediately escaping into defensiveness. Pause before reacting. Breathe for a second longer. Ask yourself, am I protecting myself from this moment, or from something older? That question interrupts automatic survival behavior, and slowly, the brain begins learning something new. That connection does not always mean control. That closeness does not always mean danger. And that you can keep your identity without fighting every situation like it's a threat. Because real emotional strength is not becoming impossible to control. It's becoming safe enough internally that control no longer terrifies you. And sometimes, the people who hate being controlled the most are simply people who spent too much of their life